He sits in that old brown chair by the humming fan, the same plate in the sink, same crease in his hands. The TV hums low like a faraway train, and one by one they march back again. He sees deep jungle roads and the walls aflame, a young man laughing, calling out his name. A radio crackles, then a sudden flash, and the room goes still as the years slip past. Could I have moved left? Could I have said more? Could I touches the frame on the dusty shelf. Not for glory, not for himself, just proof that the boys he left behind were more than a picture lost in time. Flag on a coffin, folded tight, a faded rifle clip from a long ago fight. As more tears fall, families carry their flame. But does anyone else remember their names? In the recesses of his mind, they march by again. They smile to the old bet, they salute, wave a grin. War-torn uniforms, tied deep set faces and dirty caps, as they march by to the gentle refrains of taps. And only he remembers and shares